That house is abandoned. Write the violation before this street turns into a dump. Someone is standing on the porch, sir. Then she has no excuse for letting it look dead.
I have lived here for 40 years.
Then you should be ashamed of what you did to it.
I got sick. I did not stop loving my home.
Sometimes a house does not look forgotten because nobody cares. Sometimes it looks forgotten because the person inside has been fighting just to make it through another day. The police car stopped in front of a small gray house on a quiet road, where the grass had grown so high it nearly swallowed the walkway. Dry leaves covered the porch steps, weeds wrapped around the mailbox, and the bushes in front of the windows had become so thick that the whole house looked dark from the street. The call had come from a neighbor named Mr. Russell, a loud 60-year-old man who had spent weeks telling everyone the place was abandoned. He said the yard was attracting bugs, lowering property values, and making the street look dirty. But when the officer stepped out of his car, he saw an elderly woman standing on the porch with both hands wrapped around a wooden cane. Her name was Mrs. Clara Bennett. She was 82 years old, widowed, and had lived in that house for more than 40 years. Her husband had built the front porch himself, planted the rose bushes by the window, and cut the lawn every Saturday until the year he died. After that, Clara tried to keep going. Even with weak knees and shaking hands, she swept the porch, watered the flowers, and pushed the old mower slowly across the yard, because keeping the house clean made her feel like her husband was still there with her. Then, 3 months earlier, Clara had a minor heart attack. The doctor told her not to push heavy things, not to bend too much, and not to stand in the heat for long. At first, she thought she would only rest for a week. Then the grass grew. Then the leaves piled up. Then the mower sat untouched in the shed, because every time she tried to pull it out, her chest tightened and she had to sit down. Mr. Russell did not ask what happened. He only saw the yard. He shouted from across the street. He left angry notes in her mailbox. Then he called the police and claimed the house looked abandoned. The officer walked up the path carefully, stepping over weeds and leaves, and told Clara they had received a complaint. Clara nodded, embarrassed, and said she understood how it looked. Mr. Russell stood near the curb with his arms crossed, telling the officer to write the violation. He said if Clara could stand on the porch, she could cut her grass. Clara looked down at her cane and said she had been sick. Russell snapped that sickness was not an excuse for dragging down the neighborhood. At that moment, a long guy named Caleb drove by in a truck with a mower trailer behind it. He had just finished a job nearby and was heading home when he saw the police car, the angry neighbor, and the old woman standing alone on the porch. He slowed down. Something about Clara's face made him pull over. Caleb stepped out and asked what was going on. Russell immediately told him to mind his business. The officer explained that the yard had been reported as abandoned and unsafe. Caleb looked around, then noticed things most people had ignored. A small broom leaned beside the porch, half buried in leaves. A pair of old gloves sat on